Well, people see your name and they wanna like your name is very clickable. I talked about this with
Yeah.
Fundy when we were when Fundy was giving me lessons on like thumbnails. I'm trying to get his like pick his brain, and he was saying like how like there's certain names and certain people that are clickable, and like you see someone's skin and you're like, oh, I want to click on that because I recognize that. And Fundy was telling me how he was trying to get to that point with his skin. Your name
Yeah.
is up there on I'd actually say the most clickable name. Like you see that on like everyone's like Among Us. Whenever someone is an imposter with you, there's something that just clicks in their mind when you guys are playing Among Us. Like they have to do good because they know it's going to be a video. Because like me and Dream, imposter, or Dream died early or something like that. Also,
Yeah.
how do you feel when you see someone using your name often? Like, do you get like flattered or do you feel like
Yeah,
they're
no, I
using
think
you?
it's flattering. I think it's totally flattering. I think that, like, as an example, like I'll use Tommy as an example.
Mhm.
Whenever Tommy was first starting, like he wasn't putting my name in titles, and I messaged him and I said, Tommy, put my flipping name like in your like I'm telling you, you'll get like more views. And Tommy's like, oh, I just feel like I don't want to feel like I'm like clickbaiting you and stuff. And I'm like, clickbait me, clickbait, like please clickbait me. You will get more views. And I'm like, it's just better. It's like just better. It's like better content that way. And he's like, oh, well, I feel like is it a bad thing if you clickbait somebody too much? And I was like, Tommy, I have like 3 or 4 unlisted videos that have PewDiePie's name in the title. I had a streak of like 6 videos in a row that had PewDiePie's name in the title. Be shameless about it. It doesn't matter. Like you're not gonna like you're more likely to grow if you're making videos with somebody who is larger than you and making sure that people
Yeah.
know, hey, Dream's in this video, come check it out. And then they're gonna click for me, but then they're gonna stay for Tommy because Tommy's hilarious. They're gonna click and go, hey, there's Dream's name, I'm gonna click this video, and they're gonna go, hey, this guy's flipping hilarious, I'm gonna subscribe to him. And then guess what, his next video doesn't need my name and they're gonna click it as well. So it's like, I'm flattered when somebody uses my name, I'm flattered when somebody uses my ideas, I'm flattered when somebody uses my plugins or whatever. Like I feel like it's all free real estate for me. I don't get why people get so like uptight about like, oh, clickbaiting names or like stealing ideas or whatever. It's like I probably would prefer credit for certain things, like let's say Manhunt or something. But like
Yeah.
if somebody uses an idea of mine, like I'm like, hey, that was probably a damn good idea that if they decided to use it. I think that's
Dream, you have no idea how lucky we are that you are you. Cause they're like you said, like Tommy was in the same boat as I would be for anything. Like I wouldn't use your name, not because I'm like, oh, I'll get more views or less views or whatever, but I wouldn't use your name in videos specifically because I'd feel like you would feel like I was taking advantage of you. Like
oh no,
that's like the
hell no,
go-to,
yeah.
like yeah, like now that you've explained it, like it makes sense and it makes me happy that you're that way. But we wouldn't specifically, like if I was in like one video with you, I would try not putting your name in the title because I wouldn't
Oh
want you to
no.
feel that I'm using you, like pretending to be your friend just because I want the views that you are given.
Yeah, no, and that's dumb, and that's something like like as a even further example. Like I was explaining this earlier. I think it was Awesome and Quackate when we were just talking. It's like I think people have noticed that I don't stream on the SMP, like the big events and stuff.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't is that way everyone else has, like I don't want to take the attention away from everyone else that's on the SMP that contributes way more to the SMP than I do. Like as an example, Tommy and Tubbo and people that come on all the time and do things and create these storylines and stuff. And I do my best to help, but I avoid streaming because I know if I stream, then I'm going to become more of the center of attention. And I don't want to be the center of attention because, Tommy and, or as an example, Wilbur, who's created this amazing storyline. I don't like, I should even, even if I'm going to make a few bucks from streaming, like it's not worth it to take away those viewers. And I try, and my main goal with the SMP and something that Tommy, like I talked to Tommy about a while ago, I was like, with the SMP, like my goal is to grow everyone that's on it, like genuinely. And that's why I'll show up to people, like even just right now, like hopping in the stream, going, "Hey, I saw Hbomb on the SMP. I'm gonna hop on his stream. I'm gonna talk to him. I know his viewers are gonna go up, even just because I'm there. And then maybe they'll follow. Wink, wink. Maybe you guys are gonna follow the stream and subscribe or something. Maybe I don't know.
True. Which reminds me,
later.
remind me once you're done talking to read out subs because we've gotten a lot and I just didn't want to cut you off. I'm very bad about reading like subs and reading bits and that kind of stuff whenever I'm with people. I'm awful about that. I try focusing on the conversation way too much.
I'll remind you. But yes, I feel like my main goal with the SMP was not, after I started adding people, was not to grow myself, even though it does help because I obviously my name's out there and I'm getting in all people's streams and stuff. But most people that are on the SMP, most of their viewers are probably subscribed to me already. And I'm not gonna gain too much from being in Tommy's videos or being in Wilbur's videos or something, versus like him being in mine or something. And but I think the benefit there is that if I'm if the people around me are growing, then that's beneficial to me, because then I feel like people have wider scope, and Tommy obviously is going to hit a different audience than I hit, and then we're going to merge some more. Like, he's going to get a lot of my audience, I'm going to get a lot of his audience, and we're going to work together and we're going to grow together. That's something that since the beginning has been like my goal with the SMP is kind of creating a breeding ground for like super insanely talented people that I know are talented, and that's, and people always ask me like, what's your guideline for whitelisting people? My guideline for whitelisting people is they have to be super freaking talented. If they're super freaking talented, I want them on the SMP. I think that's something that, and I do it in waves as well, because I think I want it to be like, I don't want it to be overwhelming. I don't want too many people on at once, and there's different guidelines. But yes, you're talented, Hbomb, which is why you're on the SMP.
I'm talented?
Very talented.
At what?
As a streamer, as a content creator. I think that's something that's genuinely 100% like the only true guideline to being whitelisted is just like talented. That's why I think everyone on the SMP is just so talented. Like, in terms of whether it be like acting or comedy, like everyone has their different niche that they're good at, but everyone's talented. Like, everyone's very talented in their own way. And I feel like adding the different people you add are added just based on kind of filling those different niches and stuff. And I feel like that, because if you're talented, you have a much higher chance of growing and growing as a streamer and taking advantage of like the opportunity. Like, hey, if you join the Dream SMP, most likely you're going to go up in viewers when you're streaming on it.
True.
Just because there's a huge fan base around it. So I want to make sure it's somebody that's going to take advantage of that and know, hey, shamelessly take advantage of that and go, hey, I'm gonna stream this every day or whatever. I'm gonna do whatever I can to use this to catapult my stuff and my other content creation that's not the Dream SMP. Like people like Tubbo and stuff that do other streams and stream MCC and make YouTube videos and whatever else. And I think that's the number one goal of the Dream SMP, is just growing everybody on it. And that way, and that's why I feel like it's so much more of a community. I was talking with Quackity about this for a while, but it's so much more of a community. Like, if somebody ends, they're gonna probably raid somebody else on the SMP if somebody else is streaming, and everybody kind of knows everybody. Like, there's maybe only like 1 or 2 people each that we have that you don't really interact with as much, and I feel like it also definitely grows as the SMP goes on and as people play more and more. Like, maybe you haven't interacted with everybody yet or haven't done bits with everybody yet or something.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will over time. And there'll be certain times where people want to do certain things with you. Hey, do you want to do this storyline with me, or do you want to build this house with me, or do you want to do this redstone thing with me, or whatever? And I think it makes it's just one of those things where, and that's why I think the reason it's so successful is that nobody's really truly like selfish on the SMP.
Yeah,
like if I wanted to, I could just stream and get probably 200K viewers or something during the big event, and then even though I didn't do much of the lead up, and Tommy was streaming every day, lead up and take away some of that limelight. Like, or Tommy as an example could just raid other popular streamers instead of raiding like the little guys on the SMP like he does all the time. Like, I think everybody plays their part, and and it is I mean, it's like kind of cliche to say, but it is like a big family, like, in a way.
You're gonna make me
throw
up with all this wholesomeness.
I feel like that's why a lot of the MCC members are part of it, because I feel like MCC is kind of that same thing, that same way,
True.
It's MCC is kind of like an event of it's very similar to Dream SMP in terms of like the community, but it's, instead of it being like an ongoing thing, it's like an event once a month or something.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why a lot of the MCC people fit in really well here, and that's why there are a lot of us on here. So